Well, maybe you're good at math or science was your thing in school. You feel a strength in one area that maybe is a weakness for somebody else. We're different. My next author's name is Sandra Reynolds, and she wrote an amazing book. It's called Differently Abled. Sandra, welcome.
Thank you.
We're so glad that you're here. Why don't you share with us a little bit about what your book's about and the personal story that prompted you to write that?
My book is about embracing people's differences. Um, and what prompted me to write it is I have a daughter with Down syndrome, um, and many other disabilities, physical limitations. And she always longed to be like other kids. And so it's a true story about an actual event that happened in her life, and it just moved me very much. So it it it's a good way to teach people that it's okay to be kind, and it's really okay to embrace each other's differences.
One of the things that really stood out to me about the book was that she felt left out a lot of the times. When we see people that are different from us, maybe instead of saying, "Oh, that makes me uncomfortable, they're not like me," maybe that should be the prompt to say, "Let's make sure they're welcomed in."
Yeah. A lot of times kids would not include her because she has disabilities. And so I always wondered why she was so frustrated all the time. And she didn't want to, she didn't want to do things. And, you try to go through and have a positive attitude. But it's when she finally voiced how she felt and how they were making her feel is
Hmm.
when kids started to step back and say, you know what, maybe she's right. Maybe she can do things too. And she just for her to voice that, it was a moment where I was very proud, and I was really proud of the two kids that actually stepped up and said, we're going to teach you how to do this.
Oh my
um,
goodness. That's leadership.
yes. And so it was very moving for me. It
I'm
moves
sure.
me often to tears. And any parent who has, be it a child with Down syndrome, autism, any child who has something that makes them very unique and very different, it's always a struggle, and it's
Yep.
always going to be a struggle.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's okay. And I want people to know it's okay, but
So
most
there,
be kind.
there was an actual turning point where she said almost, I'm tired of hearing the word can't, and I'm going to start implementing the word can.
Yes.
And she put her foot down.
Yes. Yeah.
That's an amazing thing.
Um, she was hurt, and
Sure.
she ran off. Um, but just her reaction to them saying, "You can't do this. You're disabled,"
Hmm.
and the way she reacted, it was just. I saw the stubbornness. I saw a little bit of me in
Yeah.
that moment, and it was just the kids were taken aback
Mm.
at her reaction to it all, because typically I have this young lady who's very, very loving and very affectionate, always in a good mood, always smiling. And just, so for me to see that apprehension and not wanting to go to school because you don't want to fit in, and and it isn't just kids with Down syndrome.
Sure.
There are kids from every avenue, every walk of life that sometimes feel this way. And I just think that kindness
Mm.
is just the key to inclusion.
Sandra, I just hear the strengths of your daughter: kindness, gentleness, loving, sweet, supportive, encouraging, smiling. I can almost picture what she looks like just based on the way you've described her. And I think about the way that organizations put together people that are very different, strong in dominant or social, and she fits into the puzzle in her special way. And
Yeah.
that's what you're saying in your book, is that it's okay to be different. Our struggles and our strengths are different, and that's what makes the world go round. It makes us
Yes.
great.
Yes. She's a very determined young lady. She even learned to ski. She's
Wow.
legally blind. She's had multiple knee surgeries, hip surgery. She's had reconstructive surgery, a lot of, because of, things, this small percentage of kids with Down syndrome. And she learned to ski. And that was probably one of my proudest moments. But yeah, they can do things. It just takes longer. And we just need to accept that. And the actual picture on the front of my book are my two children,
Okay. All
my son
right.
and my daughter. So that gives you that's actually her. And
That's
just,
beautiful that you used your actual
yeah,
children. Some people would want privacy, and that's a great
yeah.
thing. That's
Um,
wonderful.
but yeah, we all struggle. And for people with a disability, it's even worse because we
Mm,
have a tendency to say, as a society, we stand off and we're
mhm,
standoffish and we don't include them. And so I think this message says, yeah, it's okay. It's okay
mhm.
to let them be different and let them do things their way. But
Yeah.
let's give them a chance.
Sandra, what do you think that she's teaching the world? What is she showing the world through different different abilities?
She's teaching them determination. I think she's teaching them perseverance. Um, but I think she's also teaching them compassion.
Mhm.
So she's a special, very special part of my life. Um, it's been crazy, and I think that for the most, the biggest message that she's teaching them is, and I'm going to quote. I'm not sure who to quote. This quote is from: "In a world where you can be anything, be kind."
Ah, boy, is that more important today than ever? Be
Yes.
kind. That the foundation that your book is laid on, would you say?
Yes. Because people aren't always kind. I've heard, people make derogatory comments to her,
Mhm.
and I think sometimes they don't even know that I'm her mom. When I would bring her to school and when I would do things, and so I had to bite my tongue a lot, and so letting her speak out really helped, and then it
Mhm.
paved the way, and then people started including her, and they learned that she has a great sense of humor
Yeah.
and she has a lot to offer. And just because she's different doesn't mean that you shouldn't let her offer that and let her be a part of it too.
Sandra, we're kind of winding down on the interview, but if you're in the store as an adult with your child and you see a child that's disabled, what would you encourage that parent or that child to do? Do you ignore them? Do you just smile? Do you make conversation? What Because again, the child with a disability might be shy. What would your suggestions be to help them feel included? And
I think it depends. I always make eye contact and I
Mhm.
always offer a hello and a smile. And if the parent wants to have a conversation or the child wants to have a conversation, I always stop and
Mhm.
because even 5 minutes of that time that I give, it shows that I accept who you are and I'm okay with who you are and you should be proud of who you are. And it just teaches them, um, that it's okay. I'm different and it's okay. People like me anyway.
Sandra, thank you so much. I wish we had more time. Tell us real quick, where is the book available?
The book is available at Writers Republic. It is available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Very good. Differently Abled by Sandra Lee Reynolds. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.